The next call is a split call. Penny Hinari, 5 minutes. Nakwe.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for this opportunity. I rise in the second reading of the Housing Legislation Amendment Bill. And just for a brief moment there, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Seymour surprised me, and I think it goes back to his days at the TDC sawmill in Whangarei, where he actually saw the benefit of working alongside a union to make sure that he gets the contract that he deserved while he was working there. So when you're ready, brother, come up.
Point of order, David Seymour. What's the person explanation about?
No one at that sawmill was unionised, Mr. Speaker.
No, I won't accept that.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Look, I heard the Minister this evening talk about the builds that have happened in his generation. What that spoke to me, Mr. Speaker, was actually the inability of this government to look into the future for future generations. I consider the millennials, Mr. Speaker. I'm one of the younger members of this House, and sadly, I think about my generation, who it's well known, struggle to get into the housing market. And Mr. Seymour, I'd love to talk to the detail of this bill, but having rushed through this process, I'm sad to say there's just a sheer lack of consultation, a sheer lack of strong review to allow us to debate this properly. We have always pushed that this go through the right process, Let's look on other occasions where we've failed to go through the right process. I think about a place in Tāmaki Makaurau, Mr. Speaker. People call it today Ihu Mātau. Its original name is Te Ihu o Mataoho. A failed process led to a long protest from the people of Ihu Mātau. A failed process meant that under the guise of social housing, under the guise of the need to build more homes, people had their rights transgressed. People had their rights taken away from them. And the people of Ihu Mātau suffered from this government's poor process. And here we are again, going through this particular bill, rushing it through the House, not allowing the democratic process for iwi, for Māori housing providers, for homeless to have their say on this particular bill. Mr. Speaker, recently I asked the Minister of Finance, what kind of consultation did this government undertake when they decided to sell off the state housing stock? What urban Māori authorities, if any, has the Minister consulted with in regards of the sale of Housing New Zealand properties under the Housing Amendment Act 2006? Answer, none. What urban Māori authorities, if any, have expressed an interest in purchasing Housing New Zealand properties under the Housing Act 2016? Answer, none. How many Housing New Zealand properties have been sold to iwi under the Housing Amendment Act 2016? Answer, none.
I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted and I shall resume the chair at 7:30.